Sonic the Hedgehog is a franchise I've always just laughed at from a distance. The last title I played myself was The Secret Rings, and ever since I've just watched entry after entry bomb with shocking consistency. SEGA seems to think that if they just keep making it bigger, making it more grandiose and eye-catching, eventually the formula will click and Sonic will be head-to-head with titans like Mario. And every time it's crashed and burned, like a train wreck you just can't seem to look away from. But now, on April 1st, 2023, they finally did it. This stupid, ridiculous joke of a game might just be the best Sonic entry since Mania, and they had to kill him to do it. So what is this game? The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is a text adventure murder mystery that gave my wife, I quote, Doki Doki Literature Club vibes, so do with that what you will. What this means is that all of that Sonic gameplay everyone knows so well is completely absent, save for in a recurring minigame. The story goes that it's our first day on the job aboard a luxury passenger train. The conductor is retiring after this journey, so I'm sure nothing bad will happen to him because nothing bad ever happens to the guy who's about to retire peacefully. Sonic and crew show up for Amy's birthday party, and the theme is a Clue-style murder mystery. Everyone is given a character to play with lore cards explaining their backstory and goals that they are to keep to themselves. Once everyone heads to their assigned positions, we're off. The surely very expensive luxury train shoots off at light speed for some reason, launching Tails, Amy, and ourselves into the storage closet, which feels like something you wouldn't want on something you paid a lot of money for, but no one really seems to care all that much, so maybe I'm just being picky. So here's our basic gameplay loop. Someone is acting suspicious, and we have to gather some clues to poke holes in their story. Once Tails lets us know that we've seen all there is to see, we launch a good cop, anxious cop interrogation where, I shit you not, the character plays a Sonic the Hedgehog endless runner to develop their train of thought. The minigame is shockingly well made. The goal is simple: don't get hit, and collect enough rings by the end to have your aha moment and make a coherent argument. These will get progressively more difficult as the game goes on, and just the concept of someone going, hold on, I need a moment, and pulling out a handheld to get in a quick game of Temple Run in the middle of accusing you of lying is so absurd I can't help but love it. Wait, is he actually dead? Everyone seems to think he's just a really good actor despite us not feeling a pulse, so I guess we'll move on. The first train car is the saloon, and we meet Knuckles. Turns out Knuckles tried to compete in Monkey Ball against Shadow and Vector, but everyone was supposed to stay in their own cars, so rather than just turn off the machine, he decided to cause massive property damage to hide the other names. Also, Shadow gave Knuckles a key to the door before leaving and locking it behind him. Tuck that information away for later. Moving on, we've got Espio and Vector in the library car. Espio's character is a poet, so we get some really Shakespeare quality poems out of him before searching around. Rogue was here, or Rouge, I've never actually known how to pronounce that one, and she found something in the brochure podium before leaving. And Shadow also passed by. There's a whole line of intrigue here where we try to find out how Espio didn't see Shadow leave the car even though he was reading. This wild dialogue ends with us concluding that he was just behind a bookcase. It seems like he probably could have just told us that, right? Yeah, tuck that away for later too. Up next is the casino car. We develop a wild plan to commit grand theft with the Bat and Blaze that Tails and this new employee are way too okay with, and we're told it goes off without a hitch. This egg we steal starts ticking like a bomb, so we get an actually pretty entertaining bit of trying literally everything up to and including just telling it not to explode, only for it to not actually be a bomb anyway. Jailable offense done and over, we can now look around. The poker chips have the Eggman logo on them, but Tails says lots of casinos have that, so we definitely don't need to put any thought into it at all. I gamble my life savings away and move on with a new profound sense of sadness deep inside. Shadow is our next target, and we've got some questions for him. Why have you been moving all around? Why is a locksmith giving away all his keys? Why is there this K-pop band printout crumpled up in the trash? After a bit of questioning, Shadow let slip that he didn't buy Amy a birthday present. He panicked and tried to lock us in the other cars to keep us busy so he could buy her some concert tickets when they go on sale. This is surprisingly sweet, but ultimately pointless given that apparently the birthday girl always gets the master key. Apparently, it's a well-established tradition. Finally, the conductor's car, and the conductor isn't here. Oh no, something bad happened, didn't it? And he was so close to retirement too. A bit more sleuthing around, and now it's time to make our final accusation. After some trial and error, because I'm stupid apparently, we accuse Espio, and after some real leaps in logic, we find out that he was told to shoot Sonic with a poison blow dart, and the train's arms carried him back to the dining car. Who told him to do this? Could it be Shadow? Could it be Rogue? any number of people could have had it out for Sonic and wanted him dead. The list of possibilities is endless and could take months, if not years, to sift. It was a train. Turns out this train is a badnik, and the whole thing is powered by a little bird slave. Also, no, Sonic isn't really dead. Come on guys, SEGA would never actually kill off their most recognizable cash cow like that, right? The train was built by Eggman, and instructed to take Sonic to him should the crew ever happen to get on board. The train told SBO to poison Sonic, and the idiot went along with it thinking it was all just part of the game. No one should ever play Dungeons & Dragons with this guy. We get launched back to the dining car again, and now the final climax begins. We go through a mild crisis before Sonic cheers us up with the sage advice of, just get over it, man. And then he crashes the door down, leading us to our final confrontation. The final scene all plays out in the Sonic minigame again, this time without the PSP graphics, so I think we're meant to assume this is all actually happening, at least to some degree. Crash through every door to reunite with all our friends, and now we get to fight the train. This part is actually really fun. There's a nice bit of challenge here, balancing dodging all of the attacks and also collecting enough rings by the end of the goal to give the train a nice bonk. Do this 3 times, learning between each that the train is actually just a sad guy that didn't want to be alone, and we can finally kill this sentient machine without a second thought. Everyone lives, and we get a nice happy ending, where Eggman has to take an angry bath because he lost. I also love these Go Dad shirts here. It's a really nice touch. And that's it. Credits roll. I'm not kidding when I say this might be my favorite Sonic game. This was stupid, crazy, and an April Fool's joke, and it was still the best thing Sega's done with this IP in years. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I'm gonna go keep myself busy in the casino car.